Hello there everybody. So today we are making another wrap back tshikiza skirt. So this is a second one, a one like this one. So the other one is blue in color. So it is here on my channel. You can go and check it out if you have not seen it. So I'm also hoping that I'll be able to answer some of the questions that came out under the blue tshikiza. Okay, so one of the questions from that video is that how many panels did I use to make my skirt? So I used 16 panels. I think I did mention it there in the video, but yeah, anyway, so it is 16 panels. So if you are a size 32 up to size 40, I think 60 panels will be okay. Okay, unless you want to make it fuller, then you can go on and add your panels. So 16 panels. So I'll be using the panels for the gathered part of the skirt, and then for the top part of the skirt, the yoke, I'll be using a plain fabric. So as you can see that sometimes they make these fabrics like this. You see the plain one is a bit, the shade is darker, and then the panels, the shade is a bit lighter than the plain one. But I don't mind it that much. So the print of the fabric is the same. It's just that the one is a bit darker than the other one. So I have my 16 panels and then 1 meter of the plain fabric. Now I'll go on and cut the panels. And then I'll go on and shorten the panels. Okay, all the panels I'll measure from top. I'll measure 20 centimeters and cut it away. I will use these pieces to make the waistband. And then after cutting the 20 centimeters away, I'll go on and put the panels together and make sure that everything is nicely aligned. And now we move on and draft the top part of the skirt. So I went on and draw a line to mark my starting line. Okay, and then after that I'll go on and take my tape measure and measure from the starting line, which is my waistline down, and mark my hip line. Okay, so it is 20 centimeters from the waistline down. It is 20 centimeters. So I'll just go on and dot the 20 centimeters to make sure that the line is all equal. And then after that I'll go on and draw a solid line. And then after that, I'll go to the waistline and place a quarter of my waist circumference. Okay, my waist circumference divided by 4. Okay, and place it on the waistline. And then I'll go to the hip line and place a quarter of my hip circumference. My hip circumference divided by 4. And then here I'll add 2 centimeters for the ease. Okay, here, and then after that I'm adding a 2 centimeters for the ease. And now another question that was popular on the blue tshikiza skirt was seam allowance. So you can add a seam allowance, but for me, the length from the waist to the hip, I don't add seam allowance. I like the fit as it is, but you can go on and add it. But on the side, I will add a 1 centimeter seam allowance. So from the waist to the hip line, the length of this mini skirt, I will just cut it straight on the lines that you see. I like how it sits on me when it is not, when the seam allowance is not added. Okay, but you can go on and add it. So there's nothing wrong with adding a centimeter seam allowance on the top part of the waistline, and then at the bottom of the hip line. But for me, I like the fit of the skirt without adding the seam allowance. Or let me say the seam allowance is already included in the 20 centimeter length. Okay, so now I'll just go on and cut my skirt. So this is the front panel. Okay, after this, I'll go on and cut the back panel. Okay. And then I'll come here on the side. I'll kind of curve the corner here so that it is not so sharp. Okay, so I'll just go on and measure 2 centimeters on the side. Okay, so I'll measure 2 centimeters on the side, and then I'll just go on and just kind of curve it so that the corner here, it is not so sharp. Okay, just kind of around the corner here. And now let us move on and cut out the back panel. So I will use the front panel to draft and cut out the back panel. Okay, so as you see me do here, so I want at the center back, I want to have a 15 centimeters plus 2 centimeters. So it's 17 centimeters altogether. So the 15 centimeters is for the overlapping at the back. Okay, and then the 2 centimeters is for side hemming. So I want to be able to double fold and hem the sides. Okay, so here I am trying to measure from the center back to the front panel. I want a clear 17 centimeters, 15 centimeters for the overlapping and 2 centimeters for the hemming. Okay, so 17 centimeters from top, and then same 70 centimeters at the bottom. Okay, so I'll just go on now and make my marks, and then cut out the back. So the other popular question from the blue tshikiza was that, is the 15 centimeters for everyone? So the 15 centimeters plus 2 hemming, plus 2 centimeters hemming, it should be fine for everyone. Okay, but if you are worried, a centimeter or 2 is not gonna make any much difference. But the 17 centimeters, the 15 plus 2 for the side hemming, it should be fine for every size. Okay. And now let us move on and make darts on the back panel. Okay, so we leave the front panel. We won't be making darts on the front panel. Darts will be on the back panel. So what I'm going to do here is that I'll measure from the center back. Okay, and then I will measure 17 centimeters. Remember the 17 centimeters that we added on the center back. So we want to clear it out when we make the darts. Okay, so we kind of want to remove it in a way. So I'll go on and make a mark, and then after that, from the 17 centimeter mark, I'll measure now 10 centimeters to make a mark for the darts. Okay, so from the 17 centimeter mark, now here is my 10 centimeters. So this is where I will make my dart. So the 10 centimeters that I'm using for the dart is my bust point to bust point divided by 2 measurement. So you just take a tape measure from your bust to another bust point, and then you divide that by 2, and then you use it. I always use that to make my dart. I always use my bust point to bust point. Some people call it a nipple to nipple measurement for my dart. Okay, and now I'll just go on and make my dart. So my dart is kind of big, so it is on the big side. So from the center, from the mark that I've just made, I will measure 4 centimeters, and then from the center again, it is 4 centimeters. So the whole width of my dart is 8 centimeters, so it is big. Okay, so because it is big, so when I make the legs, when I draw the legs, I will take it all the way from the waistline down to the hip line. So I won't make it end somewhere in the middle. So it will come from the waistline to the hip line. So the 8 centimeter dart is needed here at the back to nicely shape this skirt, because we added that 15 centimeters, so it's gonna kind of control the skirt so that your skirt fits nicely around your waist. So I'll do the same thing on both the pieces of the back. So the same dart, same width, same everything. Okay. And now here we are. So now the panels are stitched together and they are also gathered. Okay, so the panels are in 3 parts, 2 parts for the back and 1 part for the front. So for the front we have 6 panels, and then for the back it's 5 panels on each part. Okay, so 5 panel for one side and 5 panel for the other side of the back. And now we'll go on and attach them to the front part of the skirt. Okay, so that you can see how they go as well. So this is the front one, so it will go like this. It will go on and fit the front panel or the front part of the skirt. And then for the back, also go on and be attached on the side of the back. Okay, so it's 5 panel for this side and then 5 panels for the other side, and then for the middle part, the front part, is 6 panels, so it's all 16 together. Okay, so before I go on and add the panels to the top part, I will just go on and attach all the 3 parts together to make one piece, just like the top part as it is a one piece. So I'll just go on and pin and stitch the sides. So I'll add the 2 sides to the front, to the middle piece, to just make all of them one piece, and then I'll come back and attach now the one piece to the top part of the skirt. Okay. Okay, here before you go on and do this step and fold your hem like this, you can go on and hem your sides first. Hem your sides from the waist down to the lining, to the pink lining. It is easier like that, okay? It is easy to start by hemming the sides, okay? By closing the raw edges of the sides, okay? And then after that, you come and back and do this step, okay? Okay, now see here, because I started by folding and stitching the bottom hem, I had to leave the ends open, okay? So I had to undo the ends, okay, like this, so that I can be able to fold the sides. So I don't want it like this. I don't like it when it's like this. Otherwise, you can do it like this. I want it like this. I want the fold the side first, to go first like this, and then I'll come and then with my bottom hem like this. So that is why I was saying start with the side hem. Okay, so this is how I like it to look. Okay, otherwise, if you don't mind it looking the other way, you can start with the bottom hem and then do the side hem after that. So now, because I started with the bottom hem, I'll have to start here now. I had to undo first, and then I'll just go on and start here now to fold my side hem, and then I'll go up and then stitch. Okay, otherwise the correct way is to start with the side hem. You just stitch it all the way and then you follow by the bottom hem. And now the next thing is the belt or the waistband. Okay, so I went on and connected all those 20 centimeter pieces. Remember the 20 centimeter pieces that I cut out, shortening the panels. Okay, I kind of shaped them and then connected them together to make a belt. Okay, so now just go on and fold it in half and then start here in the middle of the skirt and then pin all around. Make sure that it is extra to also make the belt to tie the skirt. Okay,